Hello and welcome to Let's Bring Them In. My name is Benjamin Hart. I'm your up-and-coming marketing rock star.
Howdy, everybody. This is Evan Klein, the Time Wizard.
And as always, this is Sir Derek, your Knight of Ethics.
This is Let's Bring Them In, a comedy marketing podcast where we rebrand the brands that don't need rebranding. Boys, I have finally, after years of suffering, gotten a new phone, and it feels good. It feels good in my large hands. It's a large phone for my large hands.
That's important.
You're so big.
Everyone's been saying that your hands aren't that big, and I hate to hear it because they are. This just in Ben's
Who's
hands.
been saying that?
Big and normal. Not me. Other people.
Not us. No way. Definitely not
you two.
us.
I wouldn't consider saying something like that. That's so mean.
At least not tonight. Tonight is a special night because it's glasses, shirtless, and beers night on the cast. It's a glorious image. We might tweet it out later.
we should.
Listener can't hear it, but you can think about it, and then I'll say, you're in luck, we're all over the age of 18, and that is legal.
And 21 for the beers.
Do not think about Derek rubbing his nipples no matter what you do. It's very distracting. You'll be a distracted driver.
Yes.
That's right.
And no, he does not have honey on his body. Okay, so also,
phone
troubles. Me and Milady Galini recently overcame some phone troubles, and that was quite a frustrating and arduous task. However, her phone only has the 2 cameras on the back. Yours has the 3, which is like the cool tryptophobia pictures with all the holes. You guys like those or no?
I like those.
The cool thing about it is like you can take wide-angle shots now, which is pretty dope. But I want to talk about Derek's troubles because we were just commiserating, and he brought up something fun that I wanted to hear about on cast.
Yeah, so Evan was talking about he and Galini's his lady, their phone troubles, and basically the long and short of Evan's story, which reminded me of my own story, was they went back and forth between T-Mobile and is it Verizon, Evan?
Yes.
Yeah, they went back and forth between T-Mobile and Verizon and eventually had to get on a 3-way call to figure out what was actually an easy problem.
Which is just like, it's a great way to solve a problem is to just get everyone on the horn, but also it's a great way to socialize.
It's true.
Make friends, troubleshoot. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is a bridge across troubled waters between the 2 telephone companies.
Yes.
And there's something that's happening where I'm seeing this happen more and more in my life, where it's like, why do I, or in this case you, Evan, why do I have to be the middleman between these 2 companies? Shouldn't you be able to just figure this out for me?
Why do I have to solve all the problems? It feels like a great power, though, like a responsibility I never knew I could wield.
That's true. So my story was, back in college, I started my major with astrophysics, quickly figured that was not for me, and started taking only theater classes for acting.
I take responsibility for that decision.
Absolutely, yeah, Ben, great encouragement to not do astrophysics.
Yeah, I mostly talk down about astrophysics, but that's my contribution.
Ben hates astrophysics.
Derek had the career path of either being, what's his name?
Employable or...
Well, no, Brian May, the guy from Queen, the guitarist who's an astrophysicist.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could have been Nostradamus. And there's nothing else. There's no other career path for an astrophysicist that I can think of.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. I could be director of the Hayden Planetarium.
No, that guy's, he's an online guy. He just does tweets.
That is true, though. You are working on your buttery smooth voice, and that's kind of what Neil sells himself on.
That's true. Anyway, I went to my theater department, and I said, "Hi, Dean of College. I would like this to be my primary major." And he said, "Yeah, sure. Click, 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 click. Oh, I can't make theater your primary major until you drop astrophysics as your primary major." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Easy. I'll go to the College of Natural Science and tell them we're breaking up." And so I marched myself to the College of Natural Sciences, found an advisor and said, "Hello. I would like to no longer have this as my primary major. I'm switching to theater." And the woman said, "Great. Just have your dean at the theater college set up theater as your primary major, and then I'll drop this one." And I said, "Well, but he said that he couldn't do that because astrophysics is my primary major."
Classic go ask your mom situation.
Yeah, seriously. And then the woman or man, whoever it was, at the College of Natural Sciences said, "Oh, well, no, we can't drop your primary major of astrophysics unless you have another primary major to replace it, because then you just are floating around with no major." And I said, "Oh, you know what? That makes sense." And I went back to the theater and I talked to them, and they said at the College of Natural Sciences that they can't drop astrophysics until theater's the primary major. And they said the same thing they said the first time. We can't make it the primary major when the primary major's already occupied. And so then I basically was like, all right, somebody else figure this out. I'm 21 years old, and someone else needs to handle this for me because you two should be able to communicate and figure this out, and it shouldn't be on me. And eventually it all worked out.
How did you do it? Like, did you say give them a call, or?
I think I went to the College of Natural Science and I found whoever I was supposed to talk to, and I grabbed one of their cards, and then I went back to theater because I knew that counselor better, and I said, this is the person who's giving me gripe on the other end. Can you please handle this for me? And then that advisor was like, yeah, absolutely. It was, oh my gosh.
I once applied to a minor, like a fiction film minor at MSU before I transferred to GVSU. I had to write like this thing to get in, and then they sent me a rejection letter for the minor, and I'm like, well, that sucks. It turns out though that they just let me in anyway because it showed on my account that that it was already assigned as that as my minor. So I talked to my advisor about it, and I'm like, they sent me a rejection letter, but I'm able to sign up for all these classes online because I have this under my minor. And she said, don't say a fucking thing.
Not a chance. Don't you dare be the good guy in this. I will say the benefits of having astrophysics as my primary major for 3 of my years of college, after only taking about a semester and a half of actual astrophysics level courses, was I was on the dean's list in the College of Natural Sciences for astrophysics for like 3 years straight because I was taking all theater classes and I was 4-pointing them.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So they were like, who is this guy? I've never seen him in any of these classes, but he's on the damn dean's list.
You are on the dean's list for for astrophysics?
Yeah, for like 7 semesters in a row.
There should be like, if that meant something, then that would be incredible. Like,
yeah, what a hack.
I just want to figure out a way to cash that in.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of baller. I have to give here. I'm going to give the big respects, cheers of the day to.
Here we go.
Yeah, here
Derek, we go. To finding a way to become a genius in his own right by gaming the system, big money pimp style.
Yes, big cheersies.
Wow. Thanks, boys. You know what, Evan? That was beautiful. And I think that we should have a cheers during every episode from now on.
I disagree, because that is audio poison. I will say I had one more intro topic I wanted to touch on, but you know what? I might just spring that on you like after the think tank or something. Because I think we're about 10 minutes in. We should jump into the actual cast.
All right.
What topic? Derek, you have kept this like a secret keeper guarding his secrets. What are we rebranding tonight?
Tonight, my lads and all my listeners at home, we are rebranding Lomelli's Italian Restaurant, which is an Italian family-owned joint that is very close to where I live in California.
Nice. This is good. I love rebranding local places because it feels like the equivalent of like opening your window and screaming at your neighbor.
Yeah, like, yo!
And there are 2 types of Italian restaurants that exist in the world. There are chains like Sbarro, and then there are... With Vizzoli's, of course.
Olive Garden,
America's Breadstick. And then there is every other Italian restaurant, which is a family-owned business.
True. Mm-hmm. That's 2 things. First, very cool to call Olive Garden America's Breadstick. We should do that more often to places.
That's a quick rebrand I just did. Or at least it's a nice tagline they can steal.
That was beautiful. But as far as family-owned Italian restaurants, like this is a topic very near and dear to my heart. For the past 2 years before I moved to LA, as you know, listener, if you've been listening to our catalog, I worked at a family-owned Italian restaurant in mid-Michigan. So I kind of have a vested interest in this, and I want to do right by Lomelli.
We have to help them out. And this is not, just to clarify for the listener, this is not the restaurant that you worked at.
No, not at all.
You just are interested because you want to help Italian restaurants succeed.
Yes, I love Italian family-owned restaurants. I love Italian families. I wish I was one.
Do you like The Sopranos?
I've never seen it, so maybe I don't love Italian families as much as I just claimed.
Well, you should watch The Sopranos.
We should do... I'd watch that with you, Derek. We could do like a little watch party.
Yeah, it worked really well the first time we did it.
Yeah, and then they immediately shut down the service that we were using to do it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They were like, "There's too much power going on in this service. We've got to shut it down." That was like,
Freaking fellas.
I can name it because it's gone now. It's like, it was like Bunny or Rabbit. Or
I think it was Rabbit. Yeah.
Rabbit, yeah. And now, like, you can actually do it in app, and like I think Netflix and stuff. So maybe that's the way.
That's true.
They used to be able to do it on Blu-ray, which is fucking sick.
Really?
Yeah, before all the streaming stuff happened.
Yeah, that was
I didn't know about that.
That was a that was a feature of Blu-ray that was going to bring us into the future of film.
No,
Yeah,
hold on. You could would you both have to have the film at the same time, or?
Yeah, you'd have to be watching it at the same time. It was something that Blu-ray advertised. I don't know if they ever came through with it though.
Yeah,
I remember
the
in
ads.
the Blu-ray commercials that it was like, which is awesome to have a commercial for Blu-ray. I might have to pull it up and watch it later.
Okay, we're gonna touch on Blu-ray later because now I think we should rebrand Blu-ray.
I'll add it to my running list right.
Yeah, so
now.
honestly, I almost want to like hold off on our thoughts because I think that's next week's episode.
Fair enough. Actually, next week we might have a guest, but
Oh,
only time
week
will
after.
tell.
All right, so listener, you just have to be ready for when it comes.
We got a lot of irons in the fire, and we're approaching 100 episodes and our 2-year anniversary. Listener,
boy.
you're jumping in at a great time for Let's Bring Them In. I'm just gonna say it.
It's true. It's true. And honestly, our last several episodes have been hot. So let's ruin that streak on tonight's episode.
Yes.
Oh, also, before I jump into the reviews, one last thing. The reason I picked Lamelli's is because I was looking at the reviews, and Mr. Lamelli himself comments on a lot of the reviews he finds on Yelp. So we've got a lot.
Only
to do.
comments on the 1-star. Does he do most of them?
Ooh, I only checked the 1-star because that's the premise of the
That's kind
show.
of our premise of our show. Yeah.
So this
I'll
he
check 'em,
joins
though.
the ranks of what was the Australian coffee place?
It was
Coffee Bean.
Coffee Bean.
Bean. He joins a Coffee Bean, and then he joins the boating.
The boating
the
place
marina.
Yes.
in mid-Michigan.
Yeah.
I think
We should
that might
have
be
like
it
a
for the
we should
only
have like
people that
an
responded to ones.
yeah, we should have like a club for like the owners that respond to 1-star Yelp
The
reviews.
Clapback Kings.
Oh,
Clapback
yeah, okay.
Kings,
Yes.
the Hall of Troll Feeders.
I
We'll
love
come
it.
up with one.
Yeah,
I actually like the Clapback Kings. That's very
I do
good.
too.
Sweet. I mean, it's hard to improve on gold already.
Yeah.
All right, Derek, review.
All right, the first review comes to us from Naira S. from Torrance, California. 1-star review from March 2nd, 2020. So this is just before the current times. She says, I ordered chicken Alfredo and lasagna, and boy, what a disappointment. Both plates were tasteless. Taste like the pasta from the frozen section at Target. I personally don't like it and won't be ordering from here again. Sucks, with a frowny face.
Little did she know why she wouldn't be ordering from there again.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have a comment from Carlo Lamelli of Lamelli's Restaurant. And this was just 5 days later. He says, we're just as disappointed to hear your takeaways. Naira, our chicken Alfredo and lasagna are some of our community favorites. Frozen meals have never been a part of our signature recipes, and we are sorry to see you mistake our authentic cuisine as such. We hope you consider joining us again, as we'd love to recommend a dish that would better suit your taste. It'd mean a lot to make things right with you. Yeah.
Okay, so I love that because it's such a low-key burn that I think this would be better in more like a Mexican or spicy kind of establishment.
Sure.
Where they like would suggest the white bitch take something more bland.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But with a chicken Alfredo, that's about as bland as you get. So
Seriously.
I'm not quite as on the burn train on this one. However, Derek, if you were to suggest something to somebody who did not enjoy a chicken Alfredo, what would you suggest they get?
I mean, I guess like maybe a ravioli that the inside of the ravioli is just going to be like ricotta and the sauce is going to be olive oil and maybe some herbs. Like that's even more plain and milquetoast than chicken Alfredo. Is going to be like a plain noodle based thing with olive oil and herbs.
So I'm going the other side of the spectrum.
Hit
This
it.
person apparently has a mouth that like loves roller coasters and
Ooh,
loves to flatline, lives on the edge.
sure.
So I'm gonna give them like the spiciest sausage and meatball combo
Ooh.
that I can find. I want their mouth to hurt. I basically want to clap back like King Carlo and say, "You think you know flavor, bitch? We were born in flavor." You don't know what you're talking about.
See, that's one of the things that I think isn't necessarily a thing in Italian dishes is extraordinary flavor. I always thought it was
really?
more about like a feeling of warmth than there is like an actual like flavor profile that you'd find in like an Indian place or something like that.
Oh, you've never had a frutti di mare, apparently.
I have. I mean, I will say I haven't experienced the fine dining of Italian cuisine. So Derek, who has a lot more experience than me, I would love you to correct my ignorance.
Well, I wouldn't say it's ignorance per se. I would just say that you're not wrong. By and large, most of the Italian restaurants, like the chains that you're going to, they're serving up wet pasta with like loose sauce because that's what the general populace thinks of as Italian food. But when you get someone from Italy, something authentic, it's gonna be packed with flavor, even if it's not using like a ton of crazy ingredients. Like they really can bring out the best of the ingredients that they're using, which I think in this case, I think I agree with Carlo Lomelli, obviously, where he says, we would love to suggest something that might better suit your taste. It sounds like you came to our restaurant and you ordered the two things that you don't like, and you're judging the whole restaurant on that. Let us shepherd you through our menu a little bit and find something that exactly matches what you're looking for.
I have a wet shoe over here.
Yeah,
it's also
you might like it.
They got two of like the most potential for blandness. Like,
yes,
yeah, exactly.
And you're gonna say this shit sucks, and it's like, yeah, well, you also. I mean, did they say it was delivery?
They said takeaway, I believe, right?
It tastes like the pasta from the frozen section at Target.
I believe that she did takeaway on this dish, just from the context, so I could be wrong. Which, I mean, okay, you're setting yourself up for like a pretty bland dish in general if you're doing takeaway noodles. It's just like and I hate to say this, but there is a window of time that noodles are good for, and if you miss it, there's no getting back.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Counterpoint. Noodles and Company, because they use enough spice, you can get good options. But like, if you're a family restaurant, you can't put that much spice in it in your chicken Alfredo. Okay, we've done enough.
Though.
I mean, you can, but like, it's not that great of a family option because you know who's getting chicken Alfredo.
That's a good point.
Kids,
child,
and people with bland palates.
Yes,
white people by and large. Yeah.
Yes, or like people who cannot form saliva and want wet food.
True, very true.
Is that a thing?
Oh yes, I'd say that because I have family like that.
Really?
Yes.
It's like a dry mouth.
Do you hear their mouths all the time at family events?
No, they keep the mouth closed.
It's a rule. It's a rule.
That's out of respect.
If Uncle Tony opens his mouth, you tell him to keep that fucker closed. I don't want to hear those mouth smacks.
What are you rubbing cotton swabs together over there, Tone?
Oh, it's my tongue.
Zip your lid.
Zip it. All right, Derek, let's get another review up in here.
This one is from Michael N. from Torrance, California, a 1-star review. This is from just in the current COVID times of March 23rd. So like the week or two after the first shutdown. Yeah. He says, during the COVID-19 pandemic, service has gotten worse at this restaurant. I don't know why it takes longer than 30 minutes than what they quoted would be the time when the food was supposed to be ready. And that's the whole fucking review. That's a bullshit 1-star review, Michael. I'm going to say it right now. I don't care what my guys have to say. That's a bad review. But Mr. Lamelli, of course, has commented,
Derek,
and he says,
you're too close to this.
I know. I'm letting my emotions get the best of me.
Evan, we need to do something about this.
I got to step in. Derek, keep reading.
It just seems like a weak take. Anyway. All right. Carlo Lamelli says, we are so sorry to see you sum up your experiences here with the recent service, Michael. We apologize for the wait, and we hope you understand we're all working through a new system. Your concerns are valid, but we can assure you this will change as we master the electronic wave of orders. Your patience is greatly appreciated.
Damn.
That is such a masterful response to that one. I fear that we don't necessarily need to like kitchen nightmares this restaurant. I think there's a different problem in terms of just how they are adapting to the modern age. And the modern age is confusing.
Yes.
Well, it sounds very much like these are people that credited themselves to not getting taken up in the internet fad. To say that they're getting used to the electronic system, it's like it's a pretty easy system, and like if you don't know how to time yourself, or if you don't know how much manpower, like that's a pretty simple problem solving situation.
Yeah, that's true.
However, to respond by saying like, sorry, like we're trying to figure it out, like that's very honest. That's not what I want to see. That's not what I want to see from my family.
Right.
Tell me.
Neighborhood.
Right. No, I agree.
Restaurant. I want them to come back and say, hey, listen up, asshat.
Thank you, Evan. You're
how
saying
about-
what everyone was thinking.
Yes.
How
Bring
about you
it.
make your own pasta? And guess what? I bet it comes out of a box, you dumb bitch. We make our own pasta.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't end with like your mom's a hoe, then like is it even a good clapback? Because if you were not putting your middle finger and thumb together and shaking your fist in a little O, then like how could I need to be able to hear that finger shaking through the text, and I'm not hearing that here.
That's true. So maybe, I mean, with these first couple of reviews, the thing that we really need to work on is Carlo Lamelli. You're doing everything right by the book, but we want a little bit more spice in your
This is the
clapback.
restaurant book. This is clean. This is
Mm-hmm.
not spicy, and
We
that's
need
the
grit.
problem. That's the problem.
Absolutely.
That's what your first reviewer had a problem with. You need to bring the spice back in.
Absolutely. And so part of the reason why I pulled this review was specifically for Mr. Lamelli's response. But part of the reason why I got so heated was Michael N. saying, yeah, this COVID thing, it's a global pandemic. Anyways, the food took 30 minutes longer than they said it would. What the fuck's up with that? And I'm just like, that's a weak-ass take, dude.
Yeah.
That's what you gave a 1-star review for?
That's like, I used to do this all the time in my writing. It's like, I understand, like, giving an excuse and then saying what upsets me about that excuse. And it's like, well, yeah, but you completely, like, from the get-go, you don't have to say an excuse. You can let them make the excuse up.
I'm gonna call Jess out for here. She's gonna beat me up for this. But I'd been ordering sushi from the sushi place near my house. It's the closest one, so that's the one that I've used most often.
It's a good place.
And I always pick up because we all know of the sushi escapade that happened when I tried to order delivery. So ever since I've been ordering pickup. And
Wait, pause.
yes,
Is this the same place that we couldn't get the delivery right from?
I think it is.
Dang, that stupid driver. Anyways.
Yes. So I was terribly frustrated with this. Jess, did you hear that? Jess just walked in. Did you hear I'm calling you out right now?
What did I do?
Well, I was about to get into it. I haven't talked about it yet.
Get her ass.
I want to talk about you giving a 1-star to the sushi place.
What's wrong with that?
Well, you'll hear on the
okay.
podcast.
Okay,
Get
let's
outta here.
go.
I'll have you guys
Oh, here
know.
she is.
I'll have you guys know. When they gave me the sushi roll, it had, like, the grossest looking salmon I've ever seen on top of it. It looked like it had been, like, frozen for years, and then they just thawed it out and threw it on my sushi. Also, the sushi chefs don't wear their masks correctly. They wear them under their nose, so their nose is hanging out.
No, it was under their chin.
Oh, under their chin, not even
Oh,
covering their
jeez.
mouth while they're making sushi.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So, yes, Ben, I did give them a 1-star review,
I'm glad you were here to defend yourself.
I am
and
too.
I
I'm
don't
so happy
regret
with that.
Respect.
Thank you.
Yes. So
Damn right.
I was gonna call Jess out, but as you heard from her, there were valid reasons to give this place a 1-star review. That said, I'm the kind of person that said this service was terrible, the food was garbage, 5 stars, and here's a 20% tip because so you can pay your bills.
Yes.
Yes, respect.
And you know, both people are needed in this world, in this society that we live in, and the two of you balance each other out so beautifully.
We do. We need each other. Well, I don't know. I need her.
Yeah. You need her to put the hammer down on businesses so they take you seriously.
Exactly. I'm just like, please come in here and like yell at someone for me.
That's awesome.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need a sign to let me know you're there.
Ooh.
And guess what? We're in the think tank.
Oh shit. That was like, rather than getting sucked into the think tank, it was like taking a wrong turn and ending up in a mirror dimension. That mirror dimension, the think tank.
So, welcome to the Think Tank, and first I would like to tell Ben about the Wrong Turn series.
Yeah, we had a problem where I didn't know what that was. So
it's a horror series that started in 2003 with Wrong Turn, and then Wrong Turn 2 Dead End released in 2007. Wrong Turn 3 Left 4 Dead.
Okay, yes, I get it. Why would I care about these movies?
Well, the Wrong Turn series. I will not read the Wikipedia article.
If you do, I will turn off the podcast, and I'm currently recording it.
Please don't unplug the podcast.
I will turn this podcast around. Please just give me your elevator pitch as to why anyone should care why you brought this movie up.
Bad costumes, bad acting, bad writing,
yes,
bad effects, very corny.
What's the concept?
Horror that everyone needs to watch.
Mountain men and cannibals.
Yes.
Okay, they took the wrong turn and ended up in Mountain Man Cannibal Land.
Imagine Hills Have Eyes, but mountainous Appalachian and not as good.
That specifically terrifies me because I was in, when I was moving across the country, we accidentally ended up in like the mountains of Colorado. Not accidentally, it was our route. But like, it was so difficult to actually find the way through because Siri kept on taking us down like dead ends. And I'm like, Siri, are you actively trying to take us to a cannibal lair? Because this is not the highway anymore.
I mean, as Michael Scott once said, computers try to kill you by putting you into lakes.
Yes.
Anyways.
I hate to do this, you guys.
Go off.
I'm going to put a permanent veto on Office references.
That is for the best. So respect.
I will not, however, put any vetoes on Lord of the Rings references.
Thank you.
A fair and just decision.
I have spoken.
Lord of the Rings references are half of our brand. The Office references is fun.
It's stolen comedy.
You guys know them. I don't know them that much, so I just sort of take a sideline.
Yes. So anyways, where you can follow us online. On Twitter and Instagram at Let's Bring Them In. We post more often now. I've regained my online brand, kind of posting just garbage nonsense that makes me chuckle. At least at the time, like pushing it out, it makes me laugh. What else? Okay, so email us, please. Email us at the account letsbringthemin@gmail.com. Give us ideas, feedback. Just don't hurt our feelings. Ooh. Leave a review. 5 stars would be sweet if you wanted to leave a rating. And then if you leave a review, as I mentioned, especially on Apple Podcasts, Derek will read it with his voice. He'll do any voice you want. Okay, here's the situation for you, Playboy. You write out a full episode of the you-know-what show that Ben just banned.
Mm-hmm.
Derek has to read it.
True.
You just got around my YouTube ban guidelines, and I can't monetize your podcast.
Ben, if it's a review, I have to read it.
Ben gets pissed. Our episode is now an hour and a half long. Hilarious.
Filled with your spec script.
Yeah, so funny. What else? Oh, subscribe to us. Tell your friends about us.
That's the most important thing. Just tell your friends. That's all I care about.
Please.
Orchestrate a large family Zoom chat where all you do is you turn your screen off and play an episode of Let's Bring Them In, and it gets like the terrible reverb. But at the end, you say, "Oh, here's a link to this week's episode."
Play your favorite episode, and then anytime there's a joke you like, look at your family and would raise your eyebrows and say,
Stop the podcast, explain the joke if they don't get it, and then play it.
Explain the joke anyway, even if they do get it.
Yeah, because of our extremely nuanced humor.
They might have
go
missed
over
a
the
little
heads.
Yeah.
Exactly. All the good ass jokes we make. All right, I think that's what else? We got a Discord if you love to jack off in the dark.
Yeah. Let's get back in there. The nasty boys that like Discord will find that.
True.
Yeah. The evil people.
It's all in the show notes. You know where to find it.
Welcome back from the think tank, you dirty motherfucker.
It's back. It's back, and I want to talk about Roanoke. Yeah, you thought I forgot. I didn't. I'll never forget. I was born on 9/11, an inevitable date that has in time proven to be the not quintessential disaster of our time.
Yeah, how about that? Hey,
yeah.
Whoa.
Wild that was the tip of the iceberg for disasters to come. So I found out this morning.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I found on Twitter was somebody quote tweeting an article about how we've discovered the secret of Roanoke. And the person who quote tweeted it was a Native American who said, "Bitch, we've been telling you this for years. It was not a mystery." And so I looked into this, and apparently Roanoke, the mysterious island where colonists had disappeared, was not a mystery. They went to live on a different island with the natives who were friendly to them, and they put up a sign saying where they had gone and who they had gone to live with.
It's the Croatoans.
The Croatoans on the island of Croatoa or whatever it is. But that is like insane to me because there have been History Channel segments on this thing.
Oh, well.
And
there's
been
history. Yeah, there's been History Channel segments on things far less important.
That's true.
Okay, maybe that I set the bar too low. But the point is, like, those segments did not end in 2 minutes where it said they put up a sign that said, "Gone to the store, never be back."
No, it was this mysterious thing because I remember learning about this in middle school or elementary school. I don't think it was high school, but it was just
I remember in middle school as well.
Yeah, so maybe it was middle school where it's just like, yep. And the colony at Roanoke Island mysteriously disappeared, and when they came back to find them, there was nothing except carved on a tree was the word Croatoan. What was it? Where did they go? Were they killed? Were they eaten? Were they taken as hostages?
Or were they by the nearby island of Croatoa?
Yeah, and were they just chilling with their buddies who are taking care of them from a rival tribe?
They were much cooler, and way cooler than hanging for the king.
I remember that exact experience, Derek. I remember hearing about it in like a history lesson, either in elementary school or middle school. And it's like the mystery of Roanoke. And it's like, like a settlement went to Virginia and like people left, people came back, and it just, they didn't know, no one knew where they were.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the thing is, like, if they were at Croatoan, how far away is that island? Like, it can't be that
Croatoa,
far.
and it's Croatoan Island. Like, I'm a dumb bitch. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But, like, how far away is that island? Like, it's the type of thing where it's like, could you not, like, go check and, like, go look? Or is it just, like,
well, I'm going to look up a friggin' map. 50 miles.
Yes. Okay,
that's
50 miles.
It's pretty substantial back in the 1500s.
It's substantial, but not aggressively so.
No.
Like, that's totally doable.
Yeah.
Yes, this is something where, like, the hints are there. They could have checked. They just didn't care to check, so they just chalked it up as, who knows, man. All right, like, now we're gonna we gotta catch some crabs.
The way they described it, and like the thread was that it was just, they could not believe that anybody would rather live with chill Native Americans who had a great standard of living than being servants to the king for forever.
Yeah. And when you put it that way.
Well, like, I just imagine, like, a round table, like, discussing what could have happened. And someone goes, I mean, they probably just went to live with the natives, right? Like, on the island of Croatoan. And, like, everyone just looks at me and goes, you are the dumbest fucking boy alive. You know
mean those
nothing.
Savages?
Yeah.
Why?
And then that guy immediately just goes, all right, well, I'm going to go check. Checks. And they're like, yeah, this is what it's like. Like, you can go ahead and go back if you want. And he's like, I think I'm going to stay. Those guys actually, like, suck ass. All I do is...
He never went back to tell them.
Yeah. It was like trash. That game where it's like that inverse version of hiding. Yeah, sardines. Where once you find the people hiding, you just chill with them.
Hold on. It is so chill here. What the hell?
Love to hang out and catch chill vibes with the fellas.
True.
I have to say, there is I don't want to romanticize what could have been a difficult place, but I have to say, living in a place that was not founded on white supremacy and dealing with a bunch of religious oppression would be very chill.
Yeah, right?
Probably.
God, I would be so into that. Okay, that was my little diversion into Roanoke Island, and if that was something that you just learned on today's podcast, You and I learned on nearly the same day. Well, maybe you learned a week later, so I'm still superior to you. But
yeah.
But adjacently, you've learned in a similar time frame to me. Time's a flat circle. Derek, what's another review?
Another review is coming to us from Joy J of Los Angeles, California. It is also a 1-star review, but this is from February 23rd, so we're back to the before times.
Time's a flat circle.
It sure is. The reviewer says, utterly disappointed. Read the reviews and decided on Italian delivery. Big mistake. I ordered a combo number 1, and everything, lasagna, spaghetti with meatball, ravioli, arrived cramped in one small aluminum tin. My pasta wasn't drained, and tons of water was at the bottom of the tray. Since the pasta wasn't drained, the sauce was watered down and had no flavor. Had a hard time finding my ravioli in the chaos. Wasn't worth it at all. And boys, I got 2 things. 1, obviously, Carlo has responded to this, but 2, I've got an image I can show you. If Skype will let me. Which would you like first?
Show me the image, right. And then, of course, listener, we will put this out as the episode comes out, so you can check Twitter. Absolutely. If you were listening to this in later weeks, Evan has assuredly crowded the Twitter with this, so...
Without a doubt.
You're going to have to find this on yourself.
Yes. There it is.
Look at that.
Yikes, gross.
So as you can see here, we have one large meatball. We've got some remnants of lasagna in this area. There's some spaghetti noodles piling over here, and then a large ravioli. Hard to find and distinguish in the chaos. Yeah.
Oh,
this
man.
Doesn't look very appetizing. But also, I have a theory that people on Yelp are really good at taking pictures of food that otherwise would look appetizing in the most disgusting way possible.
I mean, that's
respect. It's a good move.
Right.
I've noticed with my #new phone that I can take a photo of myself in portrait mode and I'll look friggin' gorgeous. I just slide the filter down 1 and I look like America's worst demon goblin.
That's just the magic of photography, I guess. So, let's take the image we just looked at with a grain of salt. But also, Carlos says, we're known to deliver great meals, Joy, and we are terribly sorry to see you not agree. Our to-go presentation should always be appealing, and we apologize for missing the mark here with your combo. We hope you give us another chance to prove our loyal reviewers right. All the best, Carlo Lamelli, owner.
Okay, yeah, and from viewing this image, and with a grain of salt even, it was a bad call to shove this all in a tin and call it a day. Yeah. It's a mess of a presentation. Using a single massive meatball might look good if you can really control where that meatball is going. Yeah. But if you just throw in that shit around, it acts as a sort of wrecking ball for the rest. Thank you. There's a wrecking ball for the rest of the meal.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. That reminds me of seeing tweets about people that would go into KFC or McDonald's and ask for anything that's left in the fryer. Give me whatever you got. I'll take anything.
What? That's
insanity. Just going there at the end of the day and being like, no, don't clean up. Just put it in a bucket for me and I'll eat it by myself. That's what that image looked like. So
yeah,
I mean, it's but also you have to think it's kind of like a Jackson Pollock painting. You're getting whatever the chef is giving you. And if he's having a bad day, fuck you. You shouldn't have ordered that day.
Well, do you think it looked like that when it went in the tin? Or do you think it looked
that's what I was
that?
Gonna,
that's my...
I was going to ask that.
I like to think that the delivery driver just grabbed it, shook it really
shook
hard.
it up like a salad.
You're supposed to do that with a Caesar salad.
Right.
So maybe he thought that I was doing them a favor.
This steaming aluminum tin, I'll shake it up for him so that when it arrives, they don't have to mix it.
Yeah, no, it looked like a mess. I'm glad that we got some evidence, so Derek can't just dismiss this one out of hand, like he does most negative reviews.
That's right.
But no, this one has proof. And the owner's response is troubling to me because they said, we're sorry we missed the mark. It's what did they say specifically?
We're known to deliver great meals.
Right.
And we are terribly sorry to see you not agree.
See, that's the thing. It's who would agree that was good presentation?
That's true.
By looking at that photo, he's saying that this is fantastic presentation. and it is merely, like Evan said, this is your artistic problem with their presentation.
Which,
it's not a horrible mess.
It's not quite a bad take to be like, well, you don't think this looks good? This looks fucking awesome to me.
Well, he's getting close, right? He's getting close to where we want him to be. He wants to say, this is the shit where this is how my mother used to make it. You say you don't like this, you say you don't like my mother. You want to say you don't like my mother? Come to the store and say that to my fucking face. We're a mask, you plebeian. We're a mask. It's fucking America. We're not animals here. Come to the fucking store. I'll have you meet my mother, and you can say it to her face.
I'm walking here, huh?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something an Italian person would say.
Guacamole.
Pasta primavera.
Bowser.
Yeah.
Where's Peach? Things like that. Okay, so here's the thing. What the guy should have said is artist in the eyes of the beholder, and how about you behold my dick? Like something like that.
Damn.
So it's like
I like that, but he would say my balls. That is a more Italian way to do this.
And
like
he
would
plays
say,
with the meatballs.
Hey, why don't you come take a look at my balls if you have a problem with these?
Nice. That's exactly what he should have done.
Yeah,
and that's the kind of thing we would encourage him to do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ultimately my whole beef with how this guy responds is because he's too diplomatic. And don't get me wrong, Italians known for diplomacy. However, I want more rage, which is another thing that Italians are known for.
Well, remember,
from time to time, so I've heard, because I watch The Sopranos.
Well, you're
so
right.
I want to see the guy just screaming online like, hey, how about you shut the fuck up? Things like that.
Well, if you're always on the defensive, that is going to ensure that you lose the war. And one of the most famous Italians is Niccolo Machiavelli, who wrote The Prince, as well as other texts on how to be basically a maniacal ruler that is so emotionless in how they respond to conflict and rule that they are undefeatable when it comes to government, and unimpeachable when it comes to maintaining their control over their city-states. So if we are missing the mark here, we aren't creating a Machiavellian thing that could eventually become the next Sbarro.
True.
Yes, that is the true aim of any Italian restaurant, to become like Sbarro.
It's true. If your goal isn't to become Sbarro, then you might as well just close up shop now, because we're not having it.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. That's what Subway's trying to be like.
Yeah, they've got they got a whole mess of problems over there.
Yes,
different variety than a messy dish, but
it's fun.
We've helped them out. I mean,
we help them, but like they keep inventing new problems to solve.
They sure do.
And they always come down to Jared. Like it all comes back to Jared.
I think Subway has to pay to have Jared assassinated. If we're being honest.
My gosh, can you imagine?
It's more than that, though. They need to remove him from the zeitgeist because everyone associates pedophilia with the Subway brand now.
They need to like Men in Black blink like the whole world to be like, boom, you don't even remember Subway Jared.
That's kind of our job, is to make people forget about Jared.
Mm-hmm.
And if they pay us to do that, then I will absolutely take on the task of making the internet forget about Jared.
Yeah, as soon as the check clears, Subway.
Yeah, the first check needs to clear before we make it back, though.
The first check is the deepest. And we're waiting. But until then, I think we've done enough to help out our friends here.
Yeah.
So, Derek, what are we going to do?
Carlo Lamelli, we love you. We're going to take great care of you, but we'll be billing you.
Before
You
ever
Think
about tweets, you
must
begin
to
wonder
automatic rifle
shooting
out
blanks.
because
It's tweet corner.
time.
All right. Kind of a quick turnaround between recording nights, but I got some tweets for you. So this first one's by Joe Pera, who, if anyone's a fan of Adult Swim or just comedy in general, he's got shows like Joe Pera Talks to You. He was on How to Make It in the USA. That one's on YouTube though. But he's famous for his he has like a really droll voice. I'm completely butchering it, so I'll just say the tweet. Twitter account is at Joseph Pera, JosepPhPera. There's nothing like the smile on my wife's face when she asks, "What's for dessert?" and I tell her apples.
Oh my god.
I mean, think about it.
That's horrible.
Apples.
It's horrible and horrifying. It's making my mind go into a lot of weird places, like perhaps the Garden of Eden.
They got
That's right.
apples there.
What fruit do you guys think was on that tree of knowledge?
The tree of good and evil, knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
What is the most like chaotic good / chaotic evil fruit? And to me, it's dragon fruit.
That's exactly where my mind went.
I was thinking fruit gushers.
That was also, my mind was split. I was trying to think of something insane like that, but
Let's
my
say
mind kept going back to dragon
Let's
fruit.
say it's a dragon fruit gusher.
Okay.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's like a really
All right.
spiky gusher. You
Please
should
stop.
not eat these.
Is it
My
like
brain.
is it like big, like you need two hands to?
It's a massive spiky gusher.
Oh my
and the
gosh.
moment you bite into it, first off, you have to get through the many bites to get through the layers. And like if
that
you can even
thick membrane.
and if you can even get past the spikes. Once you do, the liquid inside gushes over you and you're filled with shame and sticky shame.
Oof.
I'm about
Is
it,
knowledge
though.
even worth it at that point?
Knowledge has never been worth it. I wish I never went to school.
No,
Me too.
knowledge is worth it. Just listen to Ty Lopez. I wish I had more books in my garage.
All I wanted to do was watch YouTube and have people like explain things to me.
All I want is people to yell at me on YouTube about how I don't have motivation and I need to make power moves so that
Yeah,
they can
shoot.
make $50 from AdSense after a year.
Mhm.
All right, this next tweet is by Rock and Roll Photo at,
Classic.
I don't even know if I need to say the account,
Nah,
but I
man.
will because it's canon at ROCKANROLLPHOTO. 30 minutes from now, I will have consumed 3 full cans of black beans in 48 hours.
Wow.
Goals. Hashtag goals.
Impressive.
And just think, if you put your mind to it, listener, you could do it too. Maybe even baked beans. Be original. Who knows? It's up to you. All right, I got 2 more tweets.
Got it.
All right.
This one's by Rob Wisman, classic account at ROBWHISMAN. So this is in brackets. We got a situation here. It's one of those tweets.
What do you call these tweets? Do you call them like situations? Is one. Would you call them screenplays? Mini screenplays?
So yes. So like if it's brackets, I'll say it's situational, but with asterisks, it's too much of a theater kid move at this point to
Yeah.
use asterisks.
It's
So
a
I just
grab
call that
bag.
like stage direction at that
Got
point.
it.
But,
Okay.
So this one, in brackets, as mailboxes are being ripped from the ground, time to grab my AR-15 and go protect a Fuddruckers.
Hit me with that one more time.
You got it. In brackets. As mailboxes are being ripped from the ground, end brackets. Time to go grab my AR-15 and go protect a Fuddruckers.
I get it. Thank you.
Jeez.
Sorry. It took me a second to hear that, but yes, it's ridiculous that the USPS Postmaster General is actively trying to sabotage his own. It's not ridiculous because it makes complete sense.
True.
But it makes such sense that it depresses me, and I couldn't fall asleep last night because I was so stressed about this. In good news,
Yeah.
they have said that the Postmaster General will walk back these changes until after the election.
is
So as
good
not
news.
even to give the appearance of mail fraud, rather than the actuality of mail fraud, voter fraud that he was attempting to engage in, or voter disenfranchisement, which is essentially exactly what they were trying to do.
Good
Very
gracious.
chill.
What
And
a
they-
year.
I know he says he's going to stop these changes. I don't know if he's going to fix all the mailboxes that he already blocked up. All of the problems, the overtime and shit that he'd already like stopped. I doubt it. I'll bet
Are
he'll
you
do-
going to pay for it?
See, if there's one thing I could tell the listener to do before I say thank you so much for listening to Let's Bring Them In, my name is Benjamin Hart, your up-and-coming marketing rock star, is go buy a set of stamps, please.
Yeah. Are you going to still say thank you for listening to Let's Bring Them In, or was that
I
you just
did
did
that.
a
No, I just did-
twofer?
I just did
Oh,
it.
you did
That's
twofer. All right. As always, this
is-
has been Sir Derek, your Knight of Ethics. Tune in next week when we rebrand Firestone and drink some water, read a book, and like Ben said, go support the mail.
Mail. The final frontier. All right, so this last tweet is by...
Wait a minute. That's awesome.
All right, thanks. This last tweet is by at I Love to Piss. One of my favorite names. At ILOVETOPISS. Only 2 things you need to know about me. ... I love boobs and I hate Kia Souls. So this has been Evan Klein, your time wizard. Drink water, eat a vegetable, stay safe, and then also remember that Black Lives Matter now and forever.
We'll be billing you.
Bye, Stan.
See you.